What up, what up, what up, what up? That's your boy, ScooterRay, aka Scoot. Bad News Bear, here to bring y'all this quick tag on NXT 2.0 last night, aka the Go Home Show to New Year's Evil, aka the last NXT of 2021. So, starting it off, Grayson the Pariah Waller starts off, comes in, he cuts a promo talking about how he's riled up AJ Styles, how he's taking out Dexter Loomis, all of this, all of that. So then it was like, well, you didn't think what I did to Dexter was going to render him to come back so soon. So with that, Odyssey Jones accepted the challenge and ended up being Grayson versus Odyssey Jones. Uh, Due to means of an exposed turnbuckle, Grayson gets the W. After that, AJ Styles appears on screen, like, hey, you've been popping all this yin yang. I'm going to come see you at New Year's Evil. I don't know if it's going to lead to a fight or a match, rather, or just another confrontation, but Styles will be there to confront Jones at New Year's Evil. I thought they was putting the the rocket behind Braun Breaker, which they are, but obviously they're doing it with Grayson as well. Next up, we get a segment with Jade and Gonzalez talking because they were supposed to have a match with Toxic Attractions, JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. From that, it led to KLR and Shirai coming up saying, "Hey, we were supposed to be the ones next in line, all this, all that," which I find weird because where was this before? Y'all now saying y'all want title shots now. Y'all wasn't saying this when Jade and Gonzalez was talking about title shots. Y'all doing this the week before New Year's Evil. Mandy Rose again from a hot tub pool situation. She pops up saying, "Well, I want to give my ladies the night off. So how about we do Shirai and Ray versus Jade and Gonzalez, and the winning team will fight me at New Year's Evil." Once again, that's that WWE style of booking where a week before the pay per view, you want to start potentially altering the match. Okay, whatever. Next up, MSK calls out Imperium. They want their tag team titles back. Imperium comes out and was like, "Yeah, whatever. Y'all don't deserve it. Y'all the reason what's wrong with this tag division. Y'all the reason what's wrong with wrestling." Uh, Riddle couldn't be there, so he did send them a message saying, "Sorry guys, I couldn't be there, but y'all got this." Uh, Volta shows up on the screen and started popping off on MSK, which led Riddle to come back and be like, "Yo, yo, 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 you ain't gonna be talking about the homies like that. But since you want to pop off like that, how about we do this? Me and MSK versus you and the tag champs next week." So New Year's Evil, we getting a 6-man tag. Shaman Riddle and MSK versus Imperium with Volta. This will be our first time seeing Volta since he lost the title to Ilya Dragunov. So we'll get that next week on New Year's Evil. Next up, we got a segment with Idris and Nofe talking about how he got the win over Von Wagner, and that was his biggest win. That was his first win. And then Wagner shows up like, "Oh, you got lucky," blah 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 blah. Then it led to Malik Blade coming to the aid of Enofe, was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do the same thing to you tonight," blah 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 segments. From that, we get Harlan Voorhees or Harlan Myers versus Brian Kendrick. Kendrick's music plays, but he no shows. We don't know why per se, but no Brian Kendrick. So Andre Chase comes out and was like, "Hey, this is a teachable moment, you know, blah blah blah." The Andre Chase spiel. And Joe Gacy was like, "Well, hey, thank you for volunteering then for being Kendrick's replacement." So Harlan Voorhees / Myers proceeds to just murder Andre Chase due to stoppage. Then he tries to go for another beatdown, but then one of his students come in for the save, and Harlan kidnaps one of the students. And from that, to be continued. Next up, we got Legado del Fantasma. Uh, Legado del Fantasmas, Santos, Wild, and Mendoza talking, asking about what's up with Elektra, and then they was waiting on Elektra to come out the locker room so they can confront her. Solo accidentally comes out and was like, "Oh my bad, I didn't mean to interrupt." For some reason, him coming out his locker room and accidentally interrupting Legado causes Santos to be big mad and was like, "Hey, you should apologize. How dare you interrupt? You're disrespecting us." Solo was like, "Well, say, fam, if you got that much issues, then we could just sell it in the ring later on." So later on, we're going to get Santos Escobar versus Solo Sikoa. Yeah, right. I know, huh? Just like that beef. Finally, we get Tiffany Stratton, aka Buff Barbie. She debuts. Uh, Pretty good debut. I mean, it wasn't the best, but once again, it's a debut because, like, I know she did a few things here and there on 205 Live, but officially she debuts. They kind of gave her, if you've been watching the whole rich girl, I can do it all. I'm a gymnast. I'm an athlete. I got daddy's money. So, they kind of give her that little vibe off. It's kind of like what it seemed like they wanted to do with um Frankie Monet a little bit at first. But, they kind of leaned more into the rich girl rich girl moniker with Tiffany. So we'll see how it translates when it comes to promos and potential feuds. But she gets the win. The downward spiral, if y'all know Edge's moves like that, is her finisher. So we'll see where that goes from there. Then we get a ton of D'Angelo promo. He's chilling on the couch talking about, what he did to Petey was necessary, that his grandfather used to tell him, if you dealing with a bully, you got to take the bully out. So him introducing Petey to the crowbar was taking Petey out, and if Petey wants some more, then you gonna get your ass beat, basically. So I'm pretty sure the feud isn't over between Tony D'Angelo and Petey Poppins, aka Pete Dunne. Next up, we get Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, Lord have mercy. Baron Corbin had nowhere on this show. Where did Baron Corbin come from? Help me, please. Wade Barrett hosted a contract signing between Roger Strong, Carmelo Hayes, because at New Year's Evil, they're doing a title unification, which at the end, Barrett did say the winner is basically going to be the North American champion. For some reason, they was playing off this whole "is Carmelo Hayes there" thing. I don't know why, but Hayes shows up. They had a little promo. It was kind of funny, a little bit, because Hayes and Carmelo were talking. They talk, and then of course Diamond Mine was like, "Huh," and they kind of played off the whole. Bivens was like, "Look, I'll translate everything they just said." So they kind of did that. They was talking their talk. I think Carmelo's gonna take away with it, but we shall see. Uh, then eventually, after they signed the contract and left, Bivens said some stuff to Trick about him losing to Loomis, which led Trick to come back in the ring, and both Creed brothers end up slamming him through the table. So we'll get that. Then before the next match, we got a little promo showing the four teams: GYV, Jacket Time, Briggs and Jensen, and the Creed brothers. They're all vying for number one contendership. They never said what they're going to do about it. They're going to have a fatal four-way match, but they're basically saying these four teams are in the hunt for the tag team titles. So I guess when Imperium and MSK are done, be prepared for one of these four teams to be next up. We shall see. Then we get Santos Escobar, Solo Sikoa in their one-on-one match, all because Solo disrespected Santos when he in LDF when he accidentally came out his locker room. Once again, I guess uh this right here is leading to more of this legato drama because eventually Zion Quinn comes out. Electra is kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm torn between. Santos starts beating up on Zion Quinn, which led Solo to get the super kick, then the splash. Boom. Solo Sikoa beats Santos, remains undefeated. And part two to the Harlan situation, because he basically almost attempts murder again. The student he kidnaps from the ring, he was going to throw him off the roof of the building. Yeah, he was going to literally yeet him off the roof of the building, but cooler heads prevailed and insert student ran off. Then from that, Solo was backstage. He gets attacked by Boa. Boa 2.0 with the face mask and everything, or Super Boa. And then from that, they kind of did this weird camera cut where it you could tell it was two different segments, but then they pieced together Boa regular looking at Sokoa on the ground like, what did I just do? What just happened? How did I get here? So I guess they're trying to give him whole he's Boa, but doesn't know when he becomes Super Boa, he's not in control of himself. Then we get Vaughn Smash or Wagner Smash, whatever, versus Malik Blade. They tried to play off the hope of could Malik end up getting a surprise victory. No, Wagner wins. Then he tries to go for some more damage, and then Inoue pulls Blade out the ring. Pretty simple. I don't. I'm assuming their goal is to get Wagner to be the the big guy, the monster, the beast of NXT. It's not translating so well. I don't know, but yeah. Then of course we getting some more things between New Year's Evil. They were showing some of the matches. They showed a little special vignette dealing with Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa. Then of course it leads now into the tag match where Jade and Gonzalez versus Shirai and KLR. The winning team will fight Mandy Rhodes at New Year's Evil. Um, they're playing off of the whole can Raquel and Cora coexist because they was all on the women's war games team together. Gonzalez technically has no beef with Jade, but when it comes to that title, you standing in my way because even the finisher, she hit the Chicona bomb on KLR, and I guess it was so devastating that she fell back into the corner where Jade accidentally tagged herself in. Then from there, she tried to pin KLR. She pulls KLR off the pin, and they start arguing, and then it led to Cora being like, "Hey, turn around." It was Io. She caught Io, dumped her out the ring. They was arguing some more. KLR pushes Cora into Raquel, which dumps Raquel out. She tried to get the surprise roll up, blah, blah, blah. Jade ended up rolling up KLR, I guess the 1, 2, 3. Gonzalez and Jade back in the ring arguing. Mandy comes back from her hot tub pool situation, was like, see, this is the reason why I made this a triple threat match, because y'all two are so blinded by becoming champion and this, that, and the third that y'all just gonna keep fighting with each other. and basically I'm gonna come out with the W. Yeah, so that was basically NXT 2.0 as a whole. Once again, it was the go home show slash last one of New Year's. Once again, we said this before. I've even said this before. This is definitely diet WWE, WWE light, because the whole potentially changing up matches before the pay per view or before the event, some of these tropes that they're using is very diet W. It's very diet WWE, as in diet Raw, diet SmackDown. You know, they're still trying to give NXT 2.0 its own identity with some of the people, but for the most part, we can tell who's running the show and who's not running the show anymore. But yeah, that was the final NXT of the year. It's a show. I mean, if you've been watching WWE for a while, you know their go home shows are pretty, you know, they're in the middle. So what do you expect at this point? You know, that was it. I'm pretty sure I or maybe the whole group will be back to talk about New Year's Evil in the New Year's. So the next quick tag that will probably come from me most likely will be in 2022. Hope to see y'all there. Um, y'all be safe. Happy New Year. Too sweet out there to the bros and to the tag family out there. Of course, you know all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, not thumb, no thumbs down, but subscribe, notifications, all that, so you can be welcomed into the tag world, into the tag universe, the tag family. We have cookies. We have cookies. But thank y'all. From myself, Scoop, Bad News Barrett. Thank y'all for rocking with us. See y'all next year. Oh yeah. And one time for the one time, do not forget to tag out. Peace.